Welcome to my live stream. I'm mayohosko. Thank you so much for watching. I'm building sets from my backlog from the Lego Group who are worth billions and billions of dollars. I'm a tired boy. I'm a sleepy boy. Went back to grad school yesterday, so I'm tired. And I want you guys to give me some energy. I need the chat's energy. I don't have anything main that I want to talk about, and so we'll go about whatever you guys want to talk about, because I'm just tired after yesterday. Okay, and we'll just wait for enough people to come into the chat before we start building. Built bag 1 of Michael Schumacher's car yesterday, and we need bag 2. Where was bag 2? And I think there's a street sweeper outside right now. We have some of the loudest vehicles that come on our street for no reason at all. My God. So we got, actually, I'll wait until I see them in the chat right now. We got Alexandria, Silent Mode, Candy, Johnny, who are here now. Sadie was here earlier. Let's wait until Sadie comes in. Now that we're started. And I was talking to some people on their live streams beforehand. And then I went back to bed, and then I woke up before this stream. So, what do you guys want to talk about today? Because after class yesterday, now I'm starting to think about where I want to do my internship. And I also remembered that I need to put together a video for my train channel. After I texted someone yesterday. Alexandria started building X-Files GWP. What about other people? Did you get your X-Files sets yet? Well, I'm watching my friends on YouTube, still watching my sports shows on streaming. And that's about it. I'm just super low energy today. The Scully minifigure is good. Has some nice touches. Yeah, because I looked at pictures of that lab, and there's some nice details in there. Hey, Brick Babe. Hey, Billy. Hey, Strictly. You guys didn't miss out on much, because we started 5 minutes ago, and I'm super tired after going back to grad school yesterday. and we can talk about whatever we want to talk about. But we got people here now, so we're gonna crack open bag 2. And if you are new to the Mayohosko channel, please smash the subscribe button and smash the like button. Whoa, don't fall over, you little Technic sleeve piece. You push this back a little bit more. Okay, we're building stuff at the wheels, but let's see what people are saying in the chat. And yeah, how about that Scully minifigure? Hey, lots of people saying hello. Scully loves to slap on the latex. Does she have gloves on? Is that something from X-Files? I don't know. Her hands are blue to mimic gloves. She has 2 faces, one smiley, other with goggles. Yeah. For everyone that was working today, how was work? Candy is still at work. Okay, let's get into building this, shall we? I could only imagine silent mode. I could imagine that too. Where are we at? We need these pieces. Yeah. So probably just gonna end up rambling about stuff today rather than sticking to a core subject. And as I learned from the previous Formula 1 sets, gotta make sure to get the orientation of these axle pieces right. Want to make sure to pay attention in the instructions. Hey Hoarder, the invite is in the jungle if you want to come on, as with you, Johnny, and some other people. What's the TOFTS stage? I don't know that context. You got to make sure to pay attention in the instructions for the orientation of those of the holes in those axles. Because I got caught out. Oh, too old for that stuff. Okay, I'll try to remember that. Maybe someone can DM me that in that acronym so that I don't forget about it. Because I'm too old for a lot of stuff too. I'm now describing myself as the youngest man in the old man's contest. Kind of like how I've described myself for a while as the tallest man in a short man's contest. And I say that because there are people in the LEGO community who are shorter than me, but I always complain about how short I am. What about the Lethal Weapon? I've never seen that movie either. Didn't they make a sequel to that as well? Yeah, so Johnny, if you want to talk about movies or whatever, talk about it. We need I'm kind of thirsting for content. I'm grasping at straws to talk about. We can talk about anything you guys want to talk about. I know how much you miss clicking and bricking doing movie night. Um okay, yeah, so we both don't have much energy right now, Hoarder. I barely had enough energy to wake up 2 minutes before this stream started. Yeah, what is everyone's favorite movies? Because last week we built a set for my favorite movie. So for those who were watching my last stream, well, for those who were watching my live streams last week, you know what my favorite movie is. Terminator 2. My dad really likes Terminator and RoboCop because he has so much nostalgia for the 80s. So what's different between the regular Terminator and the director's cut of Terminator? I don't know why this isn't going on. Come on, snap in there. Oh, this isn't pushed back all the way. That's why. Why isn't this getting pushed back? Come on! So much friction in there, my god. Come on, just snap in there! Oh my god! There's way too much friction in those axles. Yeah, a lot of us are normally tired. I'm not normally tired. Because while my day is just starting, your day is just finishing. I've heard people talk about weird science before. Kind of like how I heard people talk about Mystery Science Theater before. But I also and something else that Alexandria and I were talking about a while ago is how good the Naked Gun franchise is, because there's been so many TV shows I've watched which have made references to the Naked Gun. And that's what prompted me to go see the newest one with Liam Neeson, that was produced by Seth MacFarlane. Because I don't have a streaming service for the other Naked Gun movies. But I've seen the intro to the first one where they're in the room discussing discussing terror plots against the US, etc. I've seen that scene a dozen times or so because it's so good. And that's why I was disappointed with the new Naked Gun movie, where it didn't open with that music. When they're fighting off the bad guys in the bank, I would have wanted them to have played that music. Maybe they couldn't get the rights for that for that music. I don't know. Maybe it's because that was directed by Fuzzy Doll Productions instead of Paramount Pictures. Maybe Paramount owns the rights to that music or something. I don't know. Yeah, the opening scenes are hilarious, and then they cut to the police squad or police academy, whatever it is, and music, which is always good. They did that in the new Naked Gun movies, but they didn't have the fight song. That's comical in the new one, which kind of made me sad. But the action was so good. The action was really good. Would you expect out of a Naked Gun movie? And also, some people have heard me drone on and on about Deadpool and Wolverine because Deadpool is my favorite character. That is now in the MCU. Wolverine's always been my favorite of the X-Men. Hey Sadie, you were in here earlier, so it's good to see you now. So you were here before we started. Good to see you now. We haven't talked about much, honestly, because this is a stream of no importance. It's just on the schedule to fill a quota. I have nothing interesting to say, so we're just talking about whatever you guys want to talk about. Because I don't want to get into the weeds of what happened at grad school yesterday. I might get into the weeds of that when there's further developments. Yeah. Yeah, because I really like Deadpool from the MCU now that after Disney bought 20th Century Fox. Because technically the only Marvel movies I've ever seen in the theater was Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and Deadpool and Wolverine. I need to go back on Disney Plus and watch the first two Deadpool movies. They're the standalone ones. I don't care about the X-Men movies that he was in or whatever. Unless Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2 are considered X-Men movies. I don't know. You tell me. I don't understand what they're doing in these instructions. they put these sleeves over this red axle. They put the sleeve over that red axle, and then that goes into there. And get that connected in there. Come on. I hate it when this just falls out so much. And gotta make sure to orient this right. Because I made that mistake too many times when building the others. And we gotta build a duplicate of this axle. Captain America Winter Soldier is your favorite MCU. I know a lot of people who really like Winter Soldier, because I remember seeing people's reviews about that when it came out, because that was before Civil War, and then both Winter Soldier and Civil War then set up the Avengers Infinity War years later after that. That was back when the MCU could do no wrong. Now they've done a lot wrong after Endgame. The standalone Deadpool movies. Okay, so the standalone Deadpool movies feature some of the X-Men. Okay. So they feature some of the X-Men, but they're not X-Men movies, I guess would be the way to put it. Because like Days of Future Past, X-Men from 2000. I don't know what the other names of the X-Men movies are. But basically the ones with Professor X, etc. Of which I forget when it was, but they did that Professor X GWP last year or 2 years ago, which a lot of people really liked because they're big fans of the X-Men. Okay, we got that right. So now we got to attach this at the back, and I'm going to move these pieces over. Going to twist this around, and that hooks into there. MCU sounds like part of a hospital. Yeah, what in medical terms could MCU be an acronym for, I wonder? Wish we got the same X-Mansion and the X-Jet. Gonna buy the Sentinel for sure. Well, we did get the modular X-Mansion, and we got that overpriced X-Jet a few years ago with those minifigs that people really liked. But they haven't produced the X-Jet nearly as much as they've produced the Quinjet. And I'm now seeing the Quinjet becoming to Marvel what the Landspeeder is to Star Wars, what the police helicopter is to Lego City, what the mech is to Ninjago, which isn't a good thing. In fact, it's bad. It's really bad. It's a cash grab. Kind of like how with that 50th anniversary Star Wars set, the George Lucas movie theater, that's going to be a ridiculous price, and yet people are still going to buy it because of that exclusive George Lucas, which is even more expensive. Is going to make that set look like a wise investment on what, not by comparison. You want to see Quinjet, Luke's land speeder crossover? That would be funny. I wonder what elements of the land speeder and what elements of the Quinjet you could have the body. I'd like to see someone put the wings of the Quinjet and maybe the engines of the Quinjet onto the body of the land speeder. That would be fun. So you can get the curvature of the land speeder at the front, and then the wings and and then the side and the back of the Quinjet, but with the windscreen of the land speeder. We could brainstorm a whole bunch of these different combos. And you know what? That idea for a crossover also reminds me of the Uglies from Star Wars. Can't quite remember which part of the Star Wars canon the Uglies are from, but they're from somewhere. We need another Millennium Falcon. Yeah, well, wasn't the most recent Millennium Falcon from 2024? I'm talking about the play scale. Because with that, instead of redesigning new versions of that craft every 4 years, I think they should just keep them on the shelves for longer. Lego should make a Christmas Millennium Falcon. Well, if they made the Gingerbread 8018 and they made the Winter Holiday X-Wing, they could make like a red and green candy cane stripe door wreath type. They could make the Millennium Falcon looking like a door wreath, maybe. Yeah, there's all sorts of ideas we could come up with in the chat. All jokes aside, you have the 2019 and the newer Dark Falcon. You're gonna part out and clean it, turn it into play scale Outrider. What's the Outrider? A birthday cake Star Destroyer. So like a like every slice of a birthday cake looks like a star destroyer. That would be fun. I've seen, because there's that episode of the Big Bang Theory where they make a sphere cake to look like the Death Star, and then it falls over at the end, which is funny. So we've done those engines, and now we need to do more engines. The Outrider is a YT, not sure what that is, freighter, just like the Falcon, looks similar but is different. So is the YT freighter also looking like a pancake? The Christmas Falcon could have a gingerbread man Han Solo. Yeah, there's lots of ideas, and I don't think Lego is afraid to do Christmas spoofs on Star Wars sets. I mean, hey, Star Wars had the terrible holiday special that aired on CBS. Do people even consider the holiday special canon? Like, was there anything of substance in that's still relevant these days? I'm still here. My computer ran out of charge. I got it charging it again. I knew that was gonna happen. We just got entrenched talking about that Star Wars stuff that I forgot to get the charger before it was too late. Okay, let's get in. Let's get back here. What are people talking about? Yeah, so we talked about that Outrider. It was Dash Rendar's ship in Shadows of the Empire. Wait, there was an N64 game, and I don't think I've heard of Dash Rendar before. Maybe that's the Dash people keep talking about occasionally. Hello, you. Hello, Goofy Gals. What? You would love for Lucasfilm to make animated version of Shadows of the Empire. I don't know what Shadows of the Empire is. Yeah, my computer ran out of charge. We're back. We're back now. Yeah. Yeah, I don't step away. My computer steps away when that happens. Someone doesn't like the holiday special. I did. Didn't I? Billy. Okay, back to building. And I wonder, I'm gonna hold my thoughts about that guy until the end. Okay, let's get back here. So where does this connect? Okay, I think it just hovers over there, but that doesn't look stable. That doesn't look stable. Hello, J Wol P4J. He refuses to Legos. He refused to Legos as building what a child. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Yeah, is this piece just floating? Is that just floating? Because there's only the one connection right there with the studs. I can't remember if that's the way it was in the other Icons F1s. But anyway, now we gotta get some stuff around to cover up these engines and lock these bricks into place. Okay, so back to what we were talking about. Okay, this goes in front. Oh no, there's stuff in between there that needs to go there. I built this wrong. Let me get that up again. I hate it when I put things in the wrong place, because then I have to readjust it like this. This is annoying. Okay, so what pieces? Ah, okay, there are those. There are these pieces which connect that and lock that together. They use these in a lot of these types of sets. Okay, that locks onto there in front of the engine, and then this curved slope that goes in front of there. Okay, because I think this is where the buildable engine gets attached somehow, because you got the pistons at the front, or it's where the driver would sit down. I can't remember. Actually, come to think of it, it might be where the driver sits down. Okay, yeah, and there's gotta apply more stickers. Yeah, there's Ferrari stuff. Yeah, so this is where the driver would sit. So Goofy's getting the Home Alone set soon. Nice. I know a bunch of my friends have built the Home Alone set. Home Alone is my favorite Christmas movie. We were talking about some of our favorite movies earlier. Yeah, Home Alone 2 is my favorite Christmas movie. I watch Home Alone 1 and 2 every Christmas Eve before I go to bed. Hey Nate, good to see you there, only for a short time, but as long as you're here for a short time, don't forget to leave a like on the stream. And everyone watching, don't forget to leave a like on the stream. How many likes do we have on the stream today, I wonder? It is a classic. Would anyone buy a Star Wars set that's based on holidays like Easter or Valentine's Day? I'm gonna have to ask some of my Star Wars friends about that now, because I wonder what type of Star Wars ships you could be inspired by a love heart, or which ships are egg shaped for Easter. Shadows of the Empire was a story from back in the day. There was a novel and a graphic novel. Oh, so it was part of the extended universe, I guess. Takes place between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Yeah, so that must be part of the extended universe. They even made action figures. Well, Kenner made action figures for just about every character back then, no matter how minor or major it was. Okay, we got 10 likes today. That would be adorable. R2D2 Easter Bunny. And then I wonder which, and then maybe they could do C3PO as no, it would be better for C3PO to be the Easter Bunny, and R2-D2 as the Cupid angel, because angels are smaller than bunnies. Because angels can go anywhere. They can carry around the power of God into all spaces. Bunnies get caught in a trap, and that's the end of them. Okay, so we got that on the side. Now there's a 1x3 brick. And then a 1x1. We're talking about how we could reinterpret Star Wars characters. Maybe you might want to scroll back in the chat and see what other people have said. So now we're building some of the I think air vents on the side here. There's a hinge. Yeah, so bag 2 has more. It definitely has more to it than what bag 1 has. And then we need to put those grills on there, light grey grills. I think the other 2 I have were blue grills, and the other was white grills. And we got to build the reverse of that as well. Until Lego makes everything that all the fans want, they haven't made yet. You don't really want anything out of the ordinary. You're still in need of the rest of the ordinary. Or because, are you trying to collect all of the regular released minifigures ever? Or are you, or are there some characters that you just don't care about buying? Okay, now we've got to build the other side of these air intakes or exhausts. You know, if they're facing to the rear of the car, they're probably the air exhausts, because the intake would be at the front or facing forward. Yeah, so what I'll be doing is after we get this stream done, I'll be taking photos of the progress so far, and then I'll post that onto people's Discord servers. And there's seven bags in this set. So let's do the math here. If I build one bag per stream, that means bag 3. Well, actually, we might aim to get 2 bags built on my Friday night stream, because I'm not going live on Saturday night because of my family. We're doing stuff together. It's been a while since I've done stuff with them. So get bag 3 and 4 done on Friday night. Then next Monday night, get bag 5 done. Next Tuesday night, get bag 6 done. And then yeah, so we might be able to finish this set next weekend. because I'm only doing one stream this weekend. And because I go live for less days a week now that I'm back at grad school, then I can go live for a little bit longer per day. Don't have to be as conservative with my hours. Oh, and we were supposed to put a sticker on here. Let me backtrack a little bit. Yeah, and I put the entirely wrong piece on here. I don't know what I was thinking. So sticker 4 with the Ferrari logo at the top. Sticker 4. So not the Ferrari logo, the Ferrari name at the top. That goes on there. What are people saying? Yeah, you don't want every figure ever. You just want the most accurate version of each character, including all the characters they haven't made, like the separatist leaders and the slavers with the light whips from the Clone Wars. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff from the Clone Wars that they haven't made yet. You want Duchess Satine, an entire 12-fig Padme CMF lineup. That would be cool. She has a lot of outfits they can make. A Dex and his diner. I think his diner could make a good Master Builders set, like how Mos Eisley's got a Master Builders cantina. Hello, Liam. Good to see you at this time of day. Oh, you're on a coffee break. Okay. I wonder who else is drinking coffee right now. Okay, back to where we were. We're going to put more stickers on here to go around the engines. More stuff with the Ferrari name on it. I'll move this off to the side there. Get that more centered in the frame. Okay, we got those on. And now we have to get some, what's this build? So we get the modified 1x1 round tile with the mini peg hole, and then the bar to stud adapter. That's on one side, and then there's one of those mini peg holes on a regular stud on the other side. And then we got to get this red at the back of the engine. And then more greebling for the engine on top of that. And there's nothing particular that I'm talking about today, so we can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about for the next 10 minutes. We were talking about Star Wars characters reinterpreted for different holidays. And we were talking about some of our favorite movies earlier, of which my favorite Star Wars movie has to be Return of the Jedi, but the only Star Wars movie I've seen incomplete is A New Hope. And I'm not going to watch the rest of the original trilogy until people peer pressure me, like how Haley Bricks peer pressured me to finish watching the original trilogy of Indiana Jones. So I wonder if there's Star Wars fans enthusiastic about me enough to actually want to peer pressure me into watching that stuff. I know that Rogue One is your favorite Hoarder. And I gotta get the orientation of these axles right, because I made that mistake too many times before. So now we gotta do it with the holes facing down. Because they have the big light green circles on to tell you to get the orientation right. Empire is your second favorite after Rogue One. I know a lot of people's favorite is Empire. Because there's so many memorable scenes from that movie. So many interesting character dynamics. And it's probably the character dynamics that brings back a lot of people to watching that. Whenever you apply a stick-on round tail, you always attach the tail to plate to get it straight. That's because then you don't mess up trying to hold it in your hand while trying to apply the sticker. Yeah, we got people in the chat who think Empire's the best. I'm an I'm an ROTJ fan. Personally, ROTJ all the way. But the great thing about A New Hope is you can watch that without watching any of the Star Wars movies and still feel like it was a complete story. That's part of the brilliance of George Lucas's scripts. Unlike newer movies of all different franchises where you need to watch every single thing to understand everything that's going on. And that's for Star Wars, that's for the MCU, that's for the DCU, that's for Disney, that's for Thomas the Tank Engine, that's for cars, it's for a lot of different stuff. I don't know why these aren't spinning. Yeah, that's weird. I thought it would have spun just a little bit. And then we got these exhausts. next to the engine. And we put those ingots on. And I'm pretty sure those are all extras. So there's the ender bag. There's the ender bag too. Get the brick separator as the bookmark for when we build bag 3 on Friday night. So there's the build so far. Hey Dragon, we're just about to end this live stream. We were talking about a whole bunch of stuff today. I had nothing I wanted to talk about, so I talked about everything with the chat about movies, reinterpreting Star Wars characters. Some more people saying stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's impossible if you're a Star Wars fan not to like something about each of the different films, even the sequels. All love, all 7 of them, original trilogy, the prequel trilogy, Solo, Rogue One. You know, every non-Fever Dream movie. The sequels fit somewhere at the bottom, under the really under. So you like the holiday special more than the sequel trilogy? Okay. Went back to the Lego store. They still had the Smart Play and Pokemon in stock. Yeah, it's not a surprise that they aren't selling out. I have no interest in Pokemon, so I don't know how to gauge Pokemon. But the Star Wars stuff, you know they're not selling. When I of all people were able to find the Smart Play Mos Eisley's Cantina for 45% off. In a country that almost never hits almost 50% off. Of course, holiday special Boba Fett looks badass. Yeah, because that's what I was saying. Even the worst of stuff can still have good stuff about it. That's why nothing ever gets a 1 out of 10 on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah. So, does anyone have any last-minute opinions? Anyone have any last-minute thoughts? I don't know if there's anyone else streaming right now. No. Oh, what? Oh my god. Oh, someone's gonna do a pop-up stream in half an hour. Yeah, actually, Brick Dynasty is live. We'll go get the raid to them. So let me go to my studio and set that up. So if you have autoplay enabled, you'll be automatically YouTube redirected over to Brick Dynasty. If you don't have that enabled, you'll see a message at the top of the chat where you can click or tap to go over watch the Brick Dynasty. So thank you for watching this live stream. It is appreciated. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. We're gonna go over, or I'm gonna go over and cook my lunch while watching Brick Dynasty. And I will see you guys back on my live stream on Friday night. So yeah, and of course, I'll see you in the next video.